Hero relics? Crest Stones? Demonic beasts? The Death Knight? Sothis? Are we back in Fodlan, fam? Let's go! Hello everyone, I'm Megan Sullivan and welcome to this detailed video on what we know about the new Fire Emblem game, Fire Emblem Fortune's Weave by Intelligent Systems, coming to the Nintendo Switch 2 in 2026. If you like this video, you know the drill, please like and subscribe so I can get you all that JRPG goodness. Thank you! So let's not waste any time, let's just dive into this trailer, and right off the bat we have what looks like an imperial capital, clearly inspired by ancient Rome and some sort of celebration going on. You can see on the water's edge what looks like a Colosseum, and up and to the right is a temple with a procession ramp leading up to it, and what looks like a series of aqueducts surrounding the city. Now notice that this city is surrounded on all sides by water, so we might be dealing with an island here. Inside the Colosseum, you have a raised platform in the center, and now a shot of two people in Romanesque costume. A red-headed man in armor on the left, and what looks like a noblewoman on the right. And look, it's adult Link. Okay, in all seriousness, this Manakete-looking dude is possibly the ruler of the city. In fact, he does later call himself the Divine Sovereign, and you can see he's wearing a crown of gold sunrays, marking him as important. And now he addresses what I assume are gladiators about to participate in battle, and here we see the possible participants, aka the heroes of the story. The main character with purple dreadlocks, his name is Kai, or Sai, I'm not sure how to pronounce it. A woman with horns, her name is Theodora. A dude with a powerful looking sword, is that a Crest Stone? His name is Diedrich. A singer-dancer type named Lita, you do see their names in a minute. And now the Divine Sovereign declares the start of the heroic games. And I wonder if the heroic games have anything to do with the hero relics. At any rate, we now have two ordinary kids hanging out in the scaffolds. Clearly, they're up there trying to get a better view of something. And now you see the boy running around a marketplace where likely he'll be able to pick up weapons, armor, etc. Just like in Three Houses, it has the same vibe. And throughout this video, we will see him running around. So clearly, like in Three Houses, we have a base of operations where we can explore, buy battle gear, and talk to NPCs. Now, I don't see the famed merchant Anna in this shot, but that's okay. And now you see Kai running through an archway, and it looks like there's a statue with what I take to be the Divine Sovereign in the background. And now the boy tells us he wants to fight only so he can, quote, save his father's life. Okay, so now we know why the boy is there. All right, here we go. Now we're hit with some battle footage, and up and to the left we see Kai's stats. And this is interesting. Flying Aureus Rider. What is an Aureus? So we see Kai is level 13, 31 HP, and notice his hit rate is pretty high compared to the rest of his stats at 1 of 9, so his aim will be pretty accurate. The other stats are physical, protection, and resilience, and on the bottom left you see AVO, or avoid, is 0%. Below that it says ground, so I'm assuming that's about the terrain, which here looks pretty flat, but take a look at what Kai is attacking. This is really interesting, an archer on a 2-horse chariot, loving the ancient Roman vibes here. We're also fighting among ruins, which is another nod to Imperial Rome, or what's left of it. Around him, he's got 8 companions, and their classes are clearly marked. So starting on the bottom left, we have a magic wielder with a tome, a couple of bare-fisted brawlers here, a swordsman, 2 more magic wielders, an archer, and another sword wielder. If you can puzzle out the specific classes, let me know. And by the way, you can see the mini-map in the upper right-hand corner, and it looks like Team Blue is a little bit outnumbered by Team Red here. Now once Kai pulls up behind the chariot, you can see he's able to attack the immediate tiles on all 4 sides, and we get a list of actions. Kai can attack, use blaze arts, combat arts, he can dismount, use an item, access items in his storage, or simply wait a turn. Now when he goes to do a basic attack, he has access to 2 weapons, nice, a bronze spear or a wooden sword, so he can obviously swap out weapons to expose enemy weaknesses to whichever weapon he is wielding. I'm not yet clear on if there's a weapons triangle here or some sort of variation of it. Notice there's an icon next to the spear option pointing up, and notice the bronze spear has durability 25 out of 25, so durability is here. His attack is going to absolutely wreck this guy, by the way, who happens to be of the Charioteer class. And this Charioteer is the Thundercloud Knight, and he wields a bronze bow. We see Knightly Senses pop up on screen, and then we see that Kai's crit is 44. It is definitely a crit hit, and down goes the Thundercloud Knight, who is knocked off his chariot. Is Kai riding a rooster ostrich, by the way? Next, we see the angry horned girl, Theodora, taking on another mounted archer and slicing up his chariot with her crazy powerful spear. And we can see in this battle footage that her spear is called Mahadu's Spear. Beneath that is the skill Disturbing Strike in blue, and when the player selects the option Gambit, Disturbing Strike comes up, and it is described as a skill where if the attack hits, it inflicts Immobilize on foes, which sounds very handy in a fight. But in the right-hand corner it says left 2 out of 2, so it looks like she has a limited number of times she can use this skill. When we get to the actual battle animation, this is really cool. Theodora orders troops to rush forward and declares that what she is seeking is great strength. An unyielding strength for any foe. Strength enough for a queen, suggesting Theodora is in fact a queen, and we actually see that she is of the noble class. By the way, Theodora was the name of the Byzantine empress, married to Emperor Justinian. So is this game about the fall of Rome and the rise of the Eastern Roman Empire? Is it a fight between the two sides? I'm just spitballing here. There was a lot of Greco-Roman and Egyptian references in Three Houses. Check out my videos on my History and Games channel to learn more about it. What's even more interesting here is that Theodora mentions she seeks sheer strength to uphold the faith she holds dear. Church of Saros, anyone? I hope not. And she needs the strength to lead her people. Luckily, as she takes on these 3 thieves, you can see that she's on our side, as some of the allies we saw in Kai's footage are there with her. We now cut to a darker scene where a merchant or a thief, what's with the crate, falls to his knees, and in the foreground is a deadly looking sword, possibly with a crest stone, and a dude who looks like he just stepped out of Fire Emblem Fate's Conquest. He looks like he's distantly related to Xander. And here in this battle footage, we see that Diedrich, loving these ye old Greek names, is a Myrmidon. And we also see that his sword is called Answerer, and he's going to use a blaze art with it. Oh wow, he uses dark magic, which apparently is going to cost him some HP, called Moving Shadow. And this allows him to teleport 3 spaces over, and he also has 2 other spells, Stifling Shadow and what? Umbra Calamity. Wild. Okay, so we see the dark magic does indeed take a chunk out of his health, worth it, and he still has a turn, so maybe blaze arts aren't tied to actions that take up a turn. And he also has a number of swords he can use, including ye old favorites like Levin Sword. Oh, and look, the answer is considered a hero's relic, which, wait, is one of the 10 weapons wielded by the so-called 10 elite and Fire Emblem 3 houses. Are we back in Fodlan or what? Ooh, also, shout out to the eagle-eyed internet for picking up that the sword Answerer has an icon representing the crest of Lamine or Lamine. I totally missed that the first time. You guys are awesome. And that crest, by the way, gave you a small chance that your weapon would not decrease in durability when using recovery magic in 3 houses. I think I got that right. Anyway, very cool detail. Here we can see that the sword Answerer also allows the use of the bloodletting combat art, great, and has 40/40 durability, nice. And I'm seeing in the weapon stats a stat for Curse, interesting. Anyway, Diedrich here is going to serve out some justice in the form of Murderous Intent. And a big crit here, let's go. By the way, if there's romance in this game, I'm calling it now, he will be my husbando unless he's as crazy as the Death Knight, and you know what, in that case, I will steer clear of him. Onward to another ally who has clearly suffered the loss of someone dear here. You see the flames around her. She says there is a man she hates so much that simply killing him won't satisfy her. And this is Leda, another wonderful Greek name, loving this Greco-Roman theme. She is a hunter or a huntress, and you can see a little foot icon up in the left-hand corner. She's in the woods, so different terrain, and her avoid stat has actually gone up 20%. Her blaze arts are tied to songs, and we see Song of Beasts, Song of Madness, Passion, Ice Water, and Abjuring. These also cost HP, so it is confirmed blaze arts are gonna drain your health, folks. At any rate, Song of Beasts summons a, get this, demonic beast. Yes, demonic beast from Fire Emblem 3 Houses, but only once per map. Wild. We are so back in Fodlan, baby, but when? We'll talk about that in just a second. Okay, so now we swing back to Kai, who saves his glasses-wearing friend, and you can see that he has some sort of pink glowing eye on his left palm here, so that's obviously his special main protagonist power. Does he have the ability to rewind time or anything cool like that? We will see. We have a warrior finishing someone off in the Colosseum. We have Diedrich straight up threatening a dude with green hair, saying, and now warm blood is served in a crude cup. Here he's fighting a lady with a taser gun. There's a lady with a cat mask in the arena. Oh hey, it's that noble lady we saw at the start, fighting with a sword. A lady with double braids addressing someone up on a throne. We see Theodora yelling, Kai looking panicked, Diedrich challenging someone in the rain, possibly with a ship mast behind him. Lita dancing, Theodora being carried on a litter, along with a triumphant procession. And finally, here the Divine Sovereign declares that whoever wins the heroic games will be granted any wish they desire. He vows it, which means he'll totally renegade on that promise. And Sothis! She tells us the years were long, weren't they? And hey, she's an adult here and looking very regal and a bit sinister. Same voice actress too, I love it, and since Sothis looks more mature, I'm guessing we're in a future Fodlan, or we're in a place that is Fodlan adjacent. Maybe another continent, somewhere past Almira, I have no idea. So what do you think of HP costing blaze arts? And what do we think of the new cast of characters and their abilities? Sothis, Hero Relics, are we back? Let me know in the comments below. Thanks so much for watching, guys. See you later.